Good also. ठीक है, कुछ महंगा सामान नहीं चाहिए होता. That's the best part. Okay. I hope we're good. Okay. I have no questions so far. Are you clear with vendors? Are you clear with sourcing of these stencils? The only thing while buying, so that is going to be one little tip for anything, for any material tool that you're buying. Don't restrict yourself to cake vendors only. If you feel that this technique is something which might be used in other art forms, go ahead, buy from them. They might be a little cheaper and they might have more variety also. Okay, so when you do some different designs and etc., your cake automatically becomes very different. Okay, so use the technique in a very versatile form, and this technique is already very versatile. Okay, I hope you're going to agree with me and spend 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees and get something which is very conveniently available, and you don't need a lot of things to do it also. ठीक है, कुछ महंगा सामान नहीं चाहिए होता. That's the best part. Okay, I hope we're good. Okay, I have no questions so far. Are you clear with vendors? Are you clear with sourcing of these stencils? The only thing while buying you should take care is that it is of a good quality. Generally stencils बहुत cheap quality में नहीं आते हैं. Whatever quality you're getting in the market is generally very good. Okay, so go ahead, buy from them, and you won't find कि मैंने 100 rupees का stencil लिया तो that was not good. It generally doesn't happen. That's why I say technique is also very versatile, very easily available also. Now I have a panel with me. I have a fondant panel. Make sure your panel is neat and at least from 3 sides, that is the side number 2 and the bottom, it is neat. Even if you have something on the top which is not perfectly cut or chopped off, that kind of works. It's okay, you can chop it off later as well. Okay, second thing that I would take care while doing my panel is that my panel should have some sort of corn flour beneath it. So I'm going to take it like this. So since my panel is a big panel, I'm not going to pick it up like this. Please don't do that ever. You'll end up breaking your fondant panel. Keep a hand in the center and just take it here. Okay, take some corn flour. Some people use icing sugar also. That is up to you. I prefer corn flour. Now here I need a little excess of corn flour so that it doesn't move later. Okay, as simple as that. Otherwise, I will never put so much of corn flour while rolling my fondant as well. So the other side also we're going to do the same. Okay. Now if you see, my panel is very can you see how beautifully it is moving? That is something that we want. Okay, now my panel is done. I am ready to start with my technique. Whenever you're going to start with stenciling, what is stenciling? You basically put a mold or a stencil and then you give it some sort of medium. You can use royal icing, you can use luster dust, anything, and you just put it across and you peel it off like this and you have the design. Okay, that is something which is a simple stencil mean. But इसमें issue क्या आता है? A lot of times when you peel it off, you see that your stencil has smudged away. The stencil ka grace, see, such a intricate design it is. The grace would only come when it comes out without smudging and with that kind of intricacy. So here I'm going to give you my secret tip. What I like to do is, rather than putting my stencil as it is and working on it, it has a chance, see, it has a slight chance of moving, right? It can move little bit here and there, or there might be some air gap, it can go away. What I like to do is, I like to seal my stencil. Whenever I'm going to seal my stencil and then I'm going to put something on it like royal icing or luster dust and then I peel it off, it would be great. It would have 90% less chances of smudging away and it will come out with that elegance and serenity or intricacy. So how to seal it? I'm going to use, in the market you get shortening or margarine. This is my magic product for my stenciling. Okay, see. This regular market you get shortening. Shortening is something that I'm using. I'm taking very little bit and I'm just going to put all across the back of my stencil. Okay, back of my stencil, all these empty spaces that you see. Can you see the white part? the empty spaces that you see, I'm going to apply on that. So all over I'm going to apply on that. In the middle also you can go a bit. Don't go overboard with it. This is just like sealing for you, right? Whenever you're going to seal this, it has to be like minimal, but it has to be there, okay? So that is what I'm doing. I'm applying it all over. Now I have a very great and good news for all the people who want to come for the Bombay workshop. Trust me, we're sold out for the discounted seats. All the discount category 1, category 2, all is sold out. But we still have the category 3 available. And I have a good news for that only. I'm going to reveal it very, very soon. So if you are interested in joining the Bombay workshop, don't miss out. I'm going to reveal it really soon. Okay, so till that time, I'm taking little bit of shortening and applying it all over just to seal. I hope you've understood the sealing concept. Tyler's powder also add how much? Tyler's powder, we have not used Tyler's powder anywhere. Can you just tell me, elaborate your question maybe? This technique would work on whipped cream also. Whipped cream is a different medium altogether. One, I'm not a whipped cream cake artist, but even if you want to do it on whipped cream, it would have a different sort of little technique for that, because medium hi pura different hai. You have to understand whipped cream is something which is like very light, very airy, feather touch, right? And fondant and ganache or buttercream is something which is very like dense, heavy medium. So the techniques would altogether change for whipped cream. Some of the techniques, however, you can still manage to do it on whipped cream in the same way, but not for the stencil, okay? So I've applied on the back. I'm not sure if you can see, but now I'm going to take some space. I'm starting from the center, okay? And I'm going to seal it all together. So all the shortening that I've applied is going to get hold of the fondant, and it's going to stick. See, I'm trying to move. Even with pressure, it will not move very easily. That's what we want. Sealing is something which is a great tip, technique, which is going to make your technique very easy, okay? So sealing बहुत important है. Any questions so far? I'm going to go slow with my technique in the start. Any questions so far? I just want to know if you have any questions so far regarding stenciling. Alternate of shortening, you can use margarine maybe, but I will not recommend that. But जो puff pastry और उसमें use होता है, cookies में use, for here you can still use, but I'm not gonna be a fan of that. Shortening is the right medium to use. But अगर आपके पास margarine है तो आप उससे अपना काम, you can still work with it. Then when are you coming to Delhi? Okay, I can see 3-4 questions. Guys, I'll definitely plan. I will surely plan. Give me some time. I will definitely work on Delhi thing, and we'll try and plan for Delhi for sure. Okay. But okay, no, we work in whipped cream with stencil. You can definitely do stencil on whipped cream, not a problem. But the technique is going to be for sure different. Okay, so make sure that you don't use the same thing. If you're going to apply shortening and put it on whipped cream, it's never going to come off. So don't try and use it over there. The thing for whipped cream, the technique for the whipped cream stencil would change a bit. Okay. Yashika says, I am also from Ludhiana. Perfect. We require to apply shortening all over the stencil. Yes, all the empty spaces that you see. Can you see where the design is not there? Even here, even in the intricate parts. Wherever you can, put it all across back side way, on the back side of your stencil. Okay? Paste name. It's not a paste, it's a shortening. Okay? You can just simply type on Amazon, you'll get the shortening over there. Okay? Any questions? Any questions, or can I move ahead? Quickly thumbs up de do. And if you didn't know about the ceiling part, hearts bante hain. You know, I want the hearts to be floating if you think that ceiling was something new for you. Okay? Stencil brand. This is Omcraft. The one that I'm using, Omcraft. Can you please share the technique we need to use on whipped cream? Guys, it's not a whipped cream workshop. I'm doing it on fondant. That is something which is a part of our curriculum today. And secondly, I'm not a whipped cream cake artist. You all know that. I'm a fondant ganache buttercream artist. Difference between shortening and margarine, they are two different brothers and sisters. One is used for cakes and the making is a little different. Like dalda is also one type and brother and sister of these only. What do we have to use it to sheet it? As in, how to store shortening? Room temperature, nothing else. Okay. Are we good? Ma'am, I missed the starting. Can we get the recording? Recording is going to be there for 5 days with you. Don't worry. Okay. Is shortening something new for you or is sealing something new for you? Then I want hearts. I love my screen going red with hearts. So whenever you like something, whenever you see something which you are liking, hearts bante hain. Okay? Now what I'm going to use something called as luster dust. Okay, you all know I love this brand of luster dust. So gold and black is something eternal, evergreen. So that is something that I'm going to use. So what I'll do, I'll take any bowl and I'll take a brush. Okay, so I'll take little bit of gold luster dust. Okay, and I will also take some Evaporex. Okay, this is something that I'm using. This is something called as isopropyl alcohol, which is lab made. It is not alcohol, so all those people who don't use alcohol or clients don't use alcohol, you can use this. If you're okay with alcohol, please go ahead and use vodka. Okay, so I'm going to take little bit of vodka / Evaporex. Make sure you don't make a very thin paste. It is very important that whenever you're doing a stencil with the luster dust, your paste should not be very thin. Okay, it should not be like water. So it should be like a pasty consistency. Can you see that? Right? It's not very liquid. So once I mix it, just see. I hope you can figure that out. What I'm going to use another product. Okay. Share the brand name of luster dust. This is Cake Lace. It's available with 7 Sugar Lane. Okay. You can simply type on Instagram 7 Sugar Lane. You'll find her page. Her name is Neha Shah. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we don't have any more questions. Lovely. Now next thing that I'm going to use. There are two things with me. I can either take a paintbrush only, dip it here and dab and cover the whole thing. But paintbrush is something which has these bristles. Whenever it has bristles, those bristles will have mark and I don't want that. So I love using makeup products in my in my cake decorating. Of course, I've taken a beauty blender, but a fresh one. I'm not, as in I have used this for luster dust for the food products only. Don't do your makeup and then please dip it here and do the thing. No, please don't do that. Take a fresh one and use it for your edible things only. But the idea is that whenever you're using a beauty blender is known for, blending, right? And whenever it's blended, it's always going to be very uniform and very smoothly blended, of course. So that's why beauty blender is the perfect thing that I felt when I was trying my thing on stenciling, my style of stenciling. So I figured this out, that this is an amazing thing to use when I'm going to do the stenciling. Okay, so I'm using this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to dip it here, right? Okay, and then I'm just going to come on to the stencil part. I hope you can see. Make sure you don't take liquid. Okay, and I'm just gonna cover this all over. So again, why beauty blender? Because this is going to give me very nice and without stroke finish on my stencil. Perfect, correct? Now I'm making sure that there is nothing black visible on the top. I'm making sure that it is proper gold everywhere. Okay, now always remember that evaporates is something which evaporates very quickly, so we'll have to make the paste again. Okay, so I have mixed some more paste. Make sure you don't make it too thin. Again, I'm saying some important pointers for stenciling that I've given so far to you is 1. Sealing really helps. 2. Luster dust mixed with evaporate/vodka. Don't make it too thin. Okay, make it like a pasty consistency. That would help you to not smudge your stencil. Okay, and then 3rd, use a beauty blender instead of brushes. That will give you really nice finish. 4th, now these are 2-3 things, secret things that I feel work really well on your product, and the secret is to be maintained by you. Okay, so since we're making a thicker paste, it will tend to fly away more quickly. We'll keep making, but so I'll quickly now cover this, and I will tell you the Mumbai good news very soon. Once we're done with this, I'm going to talk on that. So far, if you have any questions, most welcome. Always go slow with your evaporates. If you see, I'm also going like putting it, mixing it, checking it, and then only putting more on it. Okay, again I'm going to dip it, take out the excess, dab. It's a very quick technique in terms of your effort. So I just love it. Now I'm taking care that I'm not moving outside the stencil, because this part is still a part of my my cake. Okay, of course I'm going to put something or the other, because why I have taken a small stencil for a bigger panel, because this is something which happens with a lot of us, that our cake size is high in height and the stencil might be that you want to put might be smaller in length. So what to do in that case, you will see, and that's why specifically I've taken this kind of scenario, so that we can cover this part and you can have any sort of stencil that you like for any sort of cake order that you have. Give me like 2-3 minutes. I'm going to take up your questions also. Let me just complete it. We're going to dry this out for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll talk about the Mumbai class. I will talk about the happy news. I will talk about your queries, everything. like to use a tipped beauty blender because especially on the sides. But yes, I have smudged a bit of side here purposely because I'm going to tell you a hack to basically mend it, okay? Because ये वाली गलतियाँ तो हो ही जाती हैं हमसे. No matter how much we try and avoid. Now I've done a lot here, okay? I am not sure if you can see in the screen, but I've done a lot on this side specifically to show you one hack, okay? So I have covered this, and right now if you feel that this has a lot of gold, okay, my hands has a lot of gold, but this has gold on it. I'm going to dry this for like 10-15 minutes till the time, actually 5 minutes, 10 minutes are good enough. I'll just check on it. Once the gold does not come on my hand, I will peel it off. Okay, that's the simple thing that you have to do. But let me just take questions and then we're going to move on to the next part of our stencil technique. Okay. Ratio of luster dust and evaporates. There is no ratio as such. Who has asked me this question? Vinita ji, there is no ratio as such. You have to understand, I am checking the consistency of my paste. That's why I was telling you, don't make it too liquid. ऐसा नहीं है कि 1/4 teaspoon ये डाल दो और half teaspoon ये डाल दो. ऐसा नहीं है. It's not like that. You have to check the consistency. Don't make it too liquid. That's all you want to take care of. Okay? Brand name of the luster dust I have shared already. It stays for how long? What are you asking for? Riya, can you please elaborate the question? किसके लिए पूछ रहे हो आप? Ma'am, when will you plan Chandigarh class also? Kiran ji, I would say Chandigarh is like 2 hours away from my place. Chandigarh is something probably I have no plans for currently. So I would say 2 hours travel kar lo and come to my place in Ludhiana. We have a workshop in Ludhiana from April 16th to 20th. The wedding cake pro course is April 16th to 20th in Ludhiana. So you can come and join that. Ma'am, can you please show the stencil on ganache too, please? Mary Monisha. Monisha, it would happen in the same way on ganache as well. Exactly same way. Okay. What I would do on the ganache, see, I like to do it on the plain fondant and then drape my fondant. That is something my style. Okay. But what you can do, if you have a draped cake, then also you can follow the same technique on the cake. The only change that you'll have to do is poke some toothpicks on the side to make it stick, right? Because for example, one second, I'll show you. For example, this is my cake. Okay, I have a draped cake and I want to do the stencil over here and not on the panel, on the table. So that is also perfectly okay. I feel that this is a little more safer and I always go for techniques which are show shot. Okay, when I'm going for show shot techniques, I want to choose the option which will give me best results in maximum scenarios. Maximum scenarios as in, if you also do it, you also get it. That is something that I would say show shot. मैं कर रही हूँ show shot आ रहा है something different, but my technique or my way of doing is that even if you do it in the same manner, you get the same results. That is show shot for me. Okay, so I prefer doing it on a plain fondant and then draping it. If you have a draped cake, you will take your stencil, apply, seal it, apply shortening and seal it, paste it, hold it and poke some toothpicks. Okay, poke some toothpicks, 2-3 toothpicks here, and then your stencils will be stable. You have to understand, stenciling is successful when there is no space of movement for the stencil, right? That's why we are doing sealing. अगर stencil move कर पा रहा है, which means smudging हो सकती है. अगर smudging हो सकती है तो आपका stencil successful नहीं होगा. अगर आपका stencil successful नहीं होगा, that means your technique is not perfect. But at the same time, even if you're doing this, you can smudge it. It's just I'm trying to reduce the chances to maybe 100%, say 10%, 5%. That is what show shot for me is, right? That even if you do it, chance of failure is not 100%, 90%, 80%. It is 5% or 10%. That less. Okay? But chance of failure will always exist if you have done something wrong, if you have not done the sealing properly, if your paste was very thin. मेरा भी पतला हो सकता है. Maybe we also face smudging. But the idea is, failure तो हो सकता है. How to fix it? That is the whole thing. And get the perfect finish that you want at the end. Okay? So that is something that I would say you can follow any method on the table or on the cake, the method is going to remain same, and also for the ganache the method is going to remain same. Okay. This stencil is reusable 100%. You can just clean the stencil, I will show you, and simply just reuse it. Clean kar lo, cool it, dry it down, and then store it, and then reuse it whenever you want. That's why in the start I told you this is just one-time investment, and stencils don't break so easily. You have to just take care that you store them in a straight box. That's it. There should not be any fold or something. Next question, ma'am, can you please plan for Jaipur? Okay, Chennai, Jaipur, Hyderabad. I can see 3 cities in the next 3 comments. Guys, I'll definitely try to plan as much as possible. I will definitely try my level best to come to your cities. But thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for all those popping queries. All the time I open my Instagram or WhatsApp, there's a message, ma'am, please come to this city, please come to this city, and that's just amazing. Thank you so much. I will definitely try to plan. If you don't use fondant, then can we use it on ganache cakes directly? 100%, as I explained you. Luster dust should be dry perfectly. Yes, I'm also waiting for my luster dust. I will just clean up my hands. For example, I have this clean finger, right? I will just check over here, and almost nothing is coming. The last part that you did is a little wet. This is dry, but this part, the last part that we did, is a little wet. Okay, so we'll wait for another 2-3 minutes and then we will be good. Okay, plan to come to Kolkata, Indore, please, Kolhapur, please. Definitely try. Guys, I'm going to try and plan some more visits to some other cities. Definitely. I will put it across my list. Okay, what else? Any more questions that you have? Okay, let me just see.
आप ये कर लो.
Where can we get the dummies? Dummies are easily available with Ultimates. Dummies are available with Omcraft. You can go to, these are the manufacturers of dummies. You can also get from the traders, the regular retailers that we have in the cake industry. But these people are the manufacturers of dummies. Whatever shape you want, whatever size you want, they will do it for you. So I generally get my dummies from Omcraft or Ultimates. Then is AC required for this kind of work? Guys, एक golden rule मेरे से ले लो. Whenever you're working with fondant, especially, please switch on your AC. Unless it is winters. For example, here right now I don't have any AC or fan on. The only reason being it is winters over here at my place, so that works for me. Okay, but otherwise, approximately 8 to 9 months in the year, you need to have your ACs on. Okay. Any prep to be made for the ganache cake before stencil? No. Your cake should be set. It should be ready for sticking your fondant. That's it. Okay, where can we buy this dust? As I told you, the dust is available with Neha Shah. Okay. Now see, I am not sure if you can see this. I have some gold spilled over. Okay. And before I try to peel this off, I would like to use the hack and spilled gold to be cleaned as much as possible. This was by mistake, but this was purposely done because I wanted to show you. The idea is that kabhi na kabhi kuch na kuch gadbad humse ho hi jata hai. No matter how experienced you get, there is always a day where you feel, oh shit, I did it wrong. Okay, oh shit, I did it, by mistake, I smudged my stencil. So you should have the hacks. As I said, galti to hoti hai, that's not in our hand. But to have the hacks in our hand is something which is very important. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take some fresh tissue. 1 second. Now in cake decorating, whenever I say tissue, whenever you hear me say tissue, it means cloth tissue, not paper towels, paper tissues. No, please, because that tends to, क्या कहते हैं उसको, गल जाते हैं. When it tends to dissolve itself with water, it will have it on your fondant, and that's not edible and should not go to your ganache or to your fondant, and someday you might even not know it कि चला गया है. So strictly you're not going to use the paper tissue or paper towels in your cake decorating, anything that you're doing, even if you're cleaning your hands. So always use cloth tissue. So I have taken some Evaporex, dipped my cloth tissue, okay, in some Evaporex, and wherever you see the mark, just clean side of the tissue, just put it across. Again, this got dirty, so I've changed the side, and I am just cleaning this. So that is a hack. अगर कल कुछ खराब हो भी गया, not a problem. Trust me, it's not a problem. And after removing the stencil, also if I feel that this is dirty, I can correct it to a great extent. Okay, it might not get as beautiful as perfectly new, shayad na ho, but this is a great hack to reduce the mistake from maybe 50 to 15 or 10. Okay, so which is good, I feel. The failure ratio, whenever it decreases, it is good. So I have cleaned it. Now since I have given some sort of Evaporex to my fondant, again I'm going to just give it like 2-3 more minutes to dry out, and then we're good to peel this off. Yeah, I will clean my fingers also. Again, now since I've used it on my fingers, I cannot use it on my edible medium back again. I hope this is basic hygiene. You all know that. I don't have to tell you. But any other question? Can we apply the stencil directly on ganache? Yes, you can. As I said, you can. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to always, whenever I'm going to start peeling off my stencil, I'm always going to